Okay, I'm going to try this again. Let's see. Okay, let me invite some people and see if it'll work. First person I'm going to invite is Kim. Okay. All right. Patricia. Alexander.
I wonder if it's because you cut comments off.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, no, I'm checking what I was doing.
Okay.
I'm looking and trying to get to the menu and I had comments on.
All right, I see some people joining me. Now let me see. All right. I'm waiting to see Kim. All right, it's up. All right, hello, Pat. We trying it again, girl. We trying it again. I'm waiting for Kim to join. All right, come on, Kim. At least it's letting me invite people this time. It wasn't letting me do that at first. Okay. Alrighty. Mary. Okay. Are you on here yet, Kim? No?
I don't see.
All right, Kim. I'm waiting for you. Waiting for you. I know, Pat. The devil is a lie. We determined to get this done today. It keeps letting me try to add you to the You want to talk, Pat? Because obviously the devil wants you to talk. Because I can invite you onto the screen. Are you ready? You want to testify today? You want to share something? I'm going to play some music while I'm waiting for Kim. Maybe I need to be playing some gospel music instead of what I was playing. Thank you, Whit. We having some difficulties, girl. The devil don't want people to hear what we got to say. But that's not how it's going to go. As soon as I can get Kim on here.
Yeah.
Hi, Aunt Ann.
If she pushed the button to see your request.
Yeah. I don't see her on here yet. Kim, where you at, baby? Oh, no, ma'am, Pat. See how you do me? That is not right. You say you appreciate it. Hey, Hugo. How you doing? I'm waiting for my speaker. The devil's been fighting and won't let us in and won't let her join, and it's just doing a whole lot. But he don't know who he up against. Because it's going to happen. While I'm waiting for her, I guess I'll just, do a little talking here. So, those who are real close to me knows that God's really been working with me a lot since April of 2019, after my husband passed. And I have seasonal depression, and it's just been a lot going on. And so the end of November, he told me that I need to do a hidden scars after the loss, which is what this is. He said it's something that people need to talk about. So I've been putting myself out there. sharing my story, talking about my grief. Hey, Renee, to get people talking. He says people need to talk about it. People really need to talk about it with COVID out here. People are going day in, day out. And I'm not just talking about people we heard of. We talking about people we know. I know several of my friends, several of my brothers and sisters who've lost, a father this week and a mother next week, and it's just crazy. So he wants us to talk about it. So he had me invite. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking with the speaker as as I'm talking. So that's what this is about. This is about putting it out there. So the person that I'm trying to get on here is going to share part of her story. And she lost one of her daughters last year. And I'm not going to try to tell her story because I can't. But it's a story to be told. So that's what I've been trying to do, and the devil's just been so you can see. So Kim, you can see me, but you can't join. I sent you an invite. Let me see if I can invite you again. So on your screen, you should see an invite. Go in your notifications to see if you see the invite, Kim, and join it that way. The devil just doesn't want her to share, and today is the day she needs to share. Just because the devil doesn't want it to be done today. But on this page, I have talked about my loss. I put myself in front of the camera where I hate to be. Not because I want to be there, but because I'm being obedient. And the blessings are flowing in. This nonprofit wasn't by, luck. It's a reason behind it. So I have to do some out-of-the-box things in order to get the job done. So I wasn't planning on talking. I'm still waiting for Kim. I'm praying that she'll be able to get on here. Oh my gosh. So I guess when my husband got, so in 2012, God gave me this vision. And like so many people, we run from him. I'm no exception to the rule. Can someone see if they can invite Kim L. Walton to the program? Because I have tried and it's not allowing me to do it. So if somebody else could try for me. And I ran. And you would think this all happened in 2019 when my husband passed. That 2021, it'd be a little easier for me. But it's not. The pain is just as real as it was that day. But he doesn't want me to be the only person talking about it. He doesn't want me to be the only person sharing my hidden scars. I know there are other people that need to talk about it. And I invite you to join me in sharing and talking. It was really hard losing my best friend. Everybody say, oh, your husband. But he was my best friend for many years before he became husband. Before he became husband material in my mind. We went many years not realizing that we were meant to be. We almost wasted those years. But what do you do after you lose that? What do you do with that? How can I keep his memory, our love, alive? Huh?
No, I was trying to figure out why she wasn't able to join because I could.
Can you invite her?
It's not giving me a way to invite her.
So I'm just I'm so confused why it's not allowing her to join. Whew. At this point, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can talk since I'm here. Maybe I thought it was her turn to talk, but maybe it's mine. You can't invite her either? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a yellow button, a green button that she should...
Yeah, Whitney's trying to tell her. Kim L. Walton.
With her number.
Oh no. So let me just talk openly and freely. A year into our marriage, my husband got sick. After over 10 years of friendship. Nothing we were expecting. We didn't have time to prepare for it. But we had to deal with it. So it got to the point where they were asking us quality of life or quantity of life. Of course, you know, I wanted him to be here as long as he could be here. And he wanted to be comfortable while he was here. He got to the point where he just wanted to be happy. Memories. It was really, really hard for me to accept it. He was in the hospital for months at a time. He didn't like hospitals, so when he went, I went with him. So we were in the hospital for months at a time. From September to December of 2018, I think we were in the hospital every week except maybe 2. I left only to do the things that I needed to do. And I came back to the hospital. I think it was January 2019 when I came to the realization that I need to start preparing as much as I could and stop holding him in pain. Because, see, I was being selfish. What'd you say, Kim? I cannot hear you, but this is your time to talk, I think. So I had to stop being selfish. And if anybody knows how hard it is to accept as much as you can that the person that you share everything with, the person that I had revealed myself to, the person who knows more about me than anyone else on this world, in this world. I held his secrets, he held mine. I had to come to some place where I could accept that when that time came, I could say, it's all right. So in March, that day came. He called me after a day of being in dialysis. I was out eating, having a good day, because I didn't have a lot of those, because I was always worried. I was always stressed about his health and, making sure he had what he needed. And I don't apologize for these tears, but I'll tell you about those in a few minutes. And he called me and he said, I'm in a lot of pain. And of course, I was en route. I helped him out of the cab from dialysis and into my car. That day, my husband asked to go to the emergency room. We had arguments about him going to the emergency room. So this was something new altogether. So I took him to the emergency room. And I remember us being in the waiting room, and he's complaining about his heart hurting and being in so much pain. And, I'm going off because we got a young man here. My husband was 38 years old. 38. Excuse me, 37. That was, yes, excuse me, 37 years old. Had just turned 37 on the 16th. Not even, like 16 days ago. And you got him sitting in a waiting room. In his pain, he was concerned with me. He said, baby, just calm down. Please sit down. Just calm down. That's the last complete sentence I got from my husband. When we went in the back, they gave him medicine, of course, for the pain. And I remember standing in the doorway of his room. And I remember my cousin calling me, who's a minister, getting an update. And she says, well, what do you want? And I remember saying, I just don't want to have to make a decision about whether my husband live or die. He didn't want to be on a ventilator. But me and some of the family weren't ready for him to be gone either. At that point, I guess God gave me a little peace. I went and I grabbed my husband by the hand. And I said, I don't know if you can hear me. I believe that you can. And if you can, I'll be fine. You don't have to worry about me anymore. If you're ready to rest peacefully, I understand. If you decide to fight, I understand. They began to prep him for the ventilator. Remember, he didn't want to be there. I'm still praying to not have to make a decision. I mean, what if I decide to not put him on the machine and that's the only thing that keeps him alive? What if I decide to put him on it? Then, I said that backwards, I think. If I put him on it and that's the only thing keeping him alive. He didn't want that. Oh, Kim, yes. And then I'm breaking one of his two wishes. Hi, Kim. I'm gonna finish up and I'm gonna let you take over.
Now, Yolanda, you talk, honey. You talk.
Um, so as they begin to put the tube in his throat, I saw him look up and open his eyes for the first time since we had been back there. And I knew from a distance that it was his mom visiting him and giving him the okay. The okay to stop fighting. You've done all you can do. You've done what you needed to do. As I watched that, I was on a fence. And I was standing on one foot. And it was so hard to try to stay steady. As I sit down in that chair at the end of that bed watching us, I saw one nurse look at the other and shake her head no. I knew what had happened, but I still wasn't ready. They worked a little bit longer. They shook their head again. And then the doctor came over and he finally told me, we got to try something else. We're gonna fight for him, but we don't have a good outlook. The tears came, the human came in, and she didn't come back until after they cleaned him up, and I went back in there and I saw the peace on him. I saw the coloring of my husband. He was the
Yeah.
chocolate brown that I loved, that I fell in love with, instead of that dark chocolate that was sickly and in
Yeah.
pain. It gave me the peace I needed to accept his going home. But I tell you, day in and day out, it's a constant battle, constant battle. And that's what this program, this project that God gave me through Just Be You Incorporated, Our Hidden Scars, it's about talking about the stuff that needs to be talked about. I, I can't
Amen.
even count on my hands anymore the people that I know that have passed
Yeah.
because of 2020. I mean, just this week, my cousin's daughter died. Not even, I think, 14 years old. A week later, the grandmother passed, 80 something years old. It doesn't matter the
Mm.
age, the pain is still there. But we need to talk about it. COVID is bringing about a change. Everybody's losing people, those expected and those not expected. Why should we be suffering alone? Why should it be something we keep hidden in the back and not accepting our grief? We got to talk
Yeah.
about our grief. We got to talk about our depression. That's what this is about. And I'm so glad. I guess God needed me to say what I've said because I had no intention of talking today. That wasn't Yolanda's plan. But I guess God had another plan. But
Yeah.
he wanted, when he gave this to me, he gave me some names of people he wanted to talk. And Kim was the first and only person I really talked to about sharing. And I'm gonna tell you, Kim is a private person. I'm private, but I think Kim is even private than I am when it comes to her stuff. And I remember when I brought it to her and told her about it, she said, "I'm gonna do this because you asked me to." Y'all don't know what that made me feel. But when she and I were talking, our stories, our pain, our grief overlapped without even realizing it. And I got such peace that day, which hadn't started off that way. But I want y'all to hear Kim talk. And I told her, I don't care how much or how little you share. You share what you feel comfortable with sharing. Because any little bit of it, any large amount of it is enough. Because somebody on here needs to hear it. Or somebody who's going to watch it later needs to hear it. So, Kim, I'm going to go ahead and let you talk. Because I think I've done what I'm supposed to do. So, go ahead and do what you do. Don't feel obligated to do anything more. Be comfortable in your pain.
Thank you. Thank you. And let me know if y'all can hear me, Yolanda.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they can.
Okay. Let's see. For those of y'all who I don't know, my name is Kim Walton. And February 2nd of 2020, I lost my youngest daughter to pancreatic cancer. She was 27 years old, mother of two kids, hard worker, mean, could be mean, attitude, beautiful, one of my halves to a whole. You know, people know that my children, I, my children know the world of me. I always felt that God makes no mistakes, when they bless you with children. So she was one of my halves to my wholes. And one of the things I grew up telling her was, as she grew up, y'all bear with me, I'm a little nervous because I don't do this. One of the things that I learned growing up was, when you're from the country, I'm from Prince Edward, Mahern, Virginia, you didn't hear I love you that much. So for my children, my thing was, I'm going to be a different type of parent. I'm going to tell you I love you every day. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to kiss you. You're going to know mama's love. And I tell anybody, my two children are the two loves of my life, you know. there is something just, to me, it was just so special about my kids. And everything I've ever done was for my children. From working 2, 3 jobs here, I did everything but sell my ass to make sure my kids were straight. you know. And yes, I'm a cusser. I'm just a plain speaker, okay?
Do
When
you?
this child, Yolanda, I'm sorry. When this child
Do
got
you?
sick, girl, when this girl got sick, I knew she was sick before she said it. In 2018, she went with me to an author event at a church. And that's when it really clicked home that she was sick and this was a sickness that she may not be able to win. I had an author event at a church. Anybody who knew how she addressed me, it was my lady, my mama, my mommy. So she put her head on my shoulder at church that day, and she said something about reaching out to God while we were in there. And she said, this church, I can't reach to God, up in here. And I looked at her and I said, doesn't matter about the building you reach for, man. God is more than that. It's a spirit. I told her, you talk to him in your time. And in your time, you tell him what's going on because he already knows. But you just tell him, you talk to him. So, like I said, I know some people be like, that little conversation, but that conversation, I knew it was a lot more. I watched her go from 190 pounds to barely 110 pounds within a matter of months. And when something's wrong with your child, you just don't know what. And I was angry with this child for not telling me and not letting other people carry that load a little bit with her. She carried this load by herself. To be so young, a single mom, raising children, working, she carried her illness by herself for the first 6 months, 7 months by herself. And it didn't matter the fact that I knew something was wrong. My gut said it was wrong. Her thing was, you got enough to bear. I felt like I had nothing to bear compared to that right there. Because I carry that, I take it from you if I could. And that's what I told her. Even when she started to the point really needing the chemo, the radiation, the surgeries, Diane, I feel you, honey, because it's a hurtful thing. Lucita Jones, it's a hurtful thing. She still wouldn't let me carry that load with her. She called her sisters and everybody else. And for y'all who know, yeah, I have leukemia. I have cancer too. Her thing was, you got enough on you, and I'm not going to put no more on you. My thing was, and I tell this to any parent, when you see your kids going through stuff, it don't matter what you go through. You're going to sit there and crawl through hell to make sure they're straight. You're going to walk that fire because they're yours. God gave them to you. Well, finally, she started letting me help her carry some of the load, but she still wouldn't let me carry enough of it to me. Her thing was towards the end, and I know I may sound choppy, y'all, because I don't like breaking down. I ain't gonna lie, but she said, you got work to do, so I need you to be you. And I was like, well, I don't know how I need to be. And she said, you need to be Kim L. Walton. And if y'all heard how, she talked, she was like, Mom, I just need you to be Kim L. Walton. You hear me? You got work to do. And I'm like, what work do I need to do? My boys. I need you to get them what you gave me. I need you to make them strong. And I ain't gonna lie, I got them boys now. And I don't know if I can do what I gave her. I don't know if that's in me right now because I hurt. And like I told Yolanda, I hurt to the point sometimes that don't feel like getting up. But I get up anyway because I know the boys need me to get up. I get up anyway because this child was about, Mom, you got to write them books. You got to do this, do that. But it hurts to get up. I took care of her for her last almost a year when things was getting really bad, Took care of her, and I think any parent would have did what I did. You're sitting there, you take care of your child, you're feeding them, you're clothing them, you're bathing them and stuff, you're gonna do that. I don't feel any regrets for doing that. I don't feel shame for taking care of my child because no, I won't go put her in no nursing home. One of the reasons I won't go put her in a nursing home because I felt that I wanted her to be with her family when she went. Pancreatic cancer, everybody knows that it's one of the most severe. It's a 1%. Only 5% make it over 2 years. And she made it longer than most. She made it to the 5% mark. When the tumors and everything started getting worse and her legs gave out and she couldn't, walk and her speech was messing up, I knew, but I didn't want to know that time was near. She knew, and she asked for certain things last year. She wanted all her family together for Thanksgiving. That was a big thing for her. And for you all, y'all know that I was married. She wanted her stepfather's people. She wanted my people, and she wanted her biological father's people. So that was three sets of families, And she said, "Mom, that's my family. I love all three. I want all of them so I could spend one last Thanksgiving, one last Christmas, one last New Year's." I think Yolanda knew the doctors had said she wouldn't have made it through Halloween of 2019. But she made it past New Year's 2020, So her thing was, she said, ooh, okay, y'all.
Take your time.
When they told her she wasn't going to make it past 2019 for Halloween, we're getting in a call from Massey Cancer Center, and she said, "Mom, excuse my French," but that's what she said. She was gonna cuss anyway, you know what I'm saying? But she would always say, "Mom, excuse my French." She said, "Fuck what they said. They don't have the last say on me." She said, "You always told me that God helps those who fight and who help themselves." So she said, "Fight on." She said, "I'm gonna see the holidays spending with my family, and I'm gonna see that New Year come." And by God, I'm gonna tell y'all something. She said, "Halloween, Thanksgiving, I threatened, yes, I threatened daddies, stepdaddies, I brothers, sisters, everybody. I don't care if I gotta come get you. I need everybody here for Thanksgiving." We did it in her apartment, her 2-bedroom small apartment, but we got everybody there to see this child and her face, you know, to see everybody. This is how she wanted to go out. Christmas, the same thing. Everything was on her terms. And that's what makes it easier for me right now because I realized she told them doctors, "Y'all hold on. I got a little more time." And that's what she did. She held on New Year's. We got pictures for New Year's. She held on until February 2nd, 2020. She made it past. She told her father she was going to make it to see his birthday. And I told him that's the greatest gift there was because she made it past his birthday. I would have loved her just make it, period. Just be here right beside me. But she made it past his birthday, which was January 22nd. Her thing, she told him, "I'm going to be here to see that." And she went a little bit over a week later. And she knew she was going. Before she passed that week, she had started making arrangements. She purchased her own urn. The urn, her sisters, they saw the urn. She showed it to them. She started making funeral arrangements, and she just let me know the small stuff that I had to do. Like contacting family. I ain't. I tell anybody, and I told them that I said this child paid for her own service. Me and her father helped, but she also paid for her service too. To be so young, she prepared so much stuff to make it easier for me. And I was just amazed. All right, Yolanda, I'm gonna do this one. I don't know how I'm gonna do this one, but I'm gonna do it. The morning she died, the morning she died, oh, let me start with the night before she died.
Mm.
Her sister Ashley came. She told Ashley she needed her to come spend the night. She sent her older sister, told her, you go take a break. She told me, so Mom, you go take a break because you got work to do. All this work to do. That's all I'm hearing for the past year. Work to do, work to do. But then she said, I got work to do. Well, I went and took me a break. Went and chilled with her father for a while. And about 2 in the morning, we had watched the movie. About 2 in the morning, I sat up and I said, something don't feel right. Slipped my shoes on. He grabbed his shoes. We didn't even talk. We were out the door. We get, y'all, I have grandchildren having a fit, but I'm gonna have this conversation while while I go handle my grandchildren too. Well, 2 o'clock in the morning, we make it over to her place, and we both felt the same thing. She was gone. When we get there, she's looking in a corner, and she's going on. We're talking to her, and she's looking, and she said, "Mom." No, she didn't say mom. Now I'm gonna tell you, this is the part where they said with grief because she didn't verbally say nothing. But in my mind, in my heart, I kept saying she said mom to me. But she didn't. Danny sat there and she kept looking to the side. And whoever she saw in that corner was who she wanted to go to. Um, I turned her head. Some of y'all know my background is nursing. I'm sorry, but the grandkids are doing their thing. My background is nursing. And when she turned her head, I looked at her father and I told him, I said, she's going. And my thing was, am I ready for her to go? My agreement to her was I would not perform CPR. I would do nothing to keep her here. Because she said, Mom, I'm not going to live a certain way. I want to go out knowing my name. When I went to reach to start CPR, I think God grabbed me and told me to stop. Because I actually, I was, I was going to. And I think that's why she knew to get me out that place. Because she knew, had I been in there when she was first starting, I would have stuck a tube down her damn throat myself. We had already talked about CPR couldn't be done on her because I would have killed her quicker trying to do CPR. I don't know if y'all understand that. When you that size and there's nothing there to block it. So I would have killed her myself. She knew that if something didn't block me, I would have done that to her. You know, I would have tried to do CPR. But she also knew to take it out of my hands because she knew it would have messed me up. You know, I don't know if any of you did nursing, but you ever tried to bring somebody back and you actually cracked their rib cage. I'm not gonna lie, in my head, I could see myself pounding her chest, and I could see it. The dogs are responding to me, and I'm sorry.
We are too. Keep going. Do what you need to do.
I didn't do CPR. I didn't do it. Instead, what I did, I got the morphine. I got the morphine. I walked around with it in my hand for a minute. The hospice nurse kept telling me on the phone, "Give it to her, give it to her." She said, "Miss Kim, you know what to do because you done this." It's a difference giving it to your own and you know what the outcome is, you know. And she kept saying, you got to give it to her because it's going to ease her way. Her way was already easy. That's what the nurse didn't realize. She said it was easy. It was totally easy. It was she was smiling and everything. Even after call, I waited and I called her stepdad. I called her other siblings, my family. You know, I called everybody and I waited to get at the law. But this girl, Mitch, it was time for her to go. She started death rattle, and I'm like, you really? And I know y'all probably, she sound that bitter. Part of me still is, I ain't gonna lie. It's taken months, almost a year, to get over being bitter that she left. Because I felt like she left me, even though she left her kids. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't leaving nobody, but that was one of my ride or dies. And I wanted that child to stay here. I gave her a little bit of the lie. And I went on and told her, I said, Dad, I'm gonna stop being selfish. I'm gonna give y'all some nerve pills. I told, yes, I am, Yolanda. I'm gonna get them nerve pills. I told her I'm gonna stop being selfish, and I'm gonna move out the way. What I didn't realize, I won't anyway. She was doing her thing regardless. Gave her a drop of that Dilaud, and I walked out the room. I said, I'm gonna call hospice again, let them know I did it. She was holding her father's hand, and he called my name. For I stepped out, I stepped across the threshold, leg up, about to take the other step, when he said my name, and I turned back around, and she was gone. It was just that fast. There was no waiting, no suffering. There was no hesitation. There was nothing. There was nothing. She was ready to go. She said, my time is here. I'm ready. During that week, when I was getting ready, trying to figure out kids, service, all the stuff you got to do, she had left I went through her diary and she had left a note telling me she cried to God. She left me a passage that I put on her obituary. She left me so much stuff that she needed me to do. That like I said, I was simply amazed. And the fact this child has so much peace, this young woman has so much peace, to do what she did, to go through what she went through. Ah, and Diane, she was something, but she left all that for me, and I still haven't gotten to where I need to be to work on some of this stuff. She wanted me to write her story because her thing was young people, especially young black people, don't listen to their bodies. They don't go to doctors the way they should. You know, I will tell young people to listen. Listen to your bodies. And if you feel sick or something's wrong, go to the doctor. Don't wait, because that was one of the things that she felt. In 2018, she told me she felt like she waited too long. And that's what she said. But like I told her with pancreatic cancer, for you to survive 2 years with it, it was just her time. And that's what that was. But her thing was if she could save some lives. So even in death, I mean, her thing was, who can we save? Who we gonna help? Because she damn if she ain't help everybody, and she helped everybody. And I mean, everybody got help. You wouldn't believe, from the grown-ups to the small people, honey. Yolanda, I don't know what else I got. I'm sorry.
No, Kim, you did. I I got more than I thought I would get. Thank you so much. I feel like this helped you as much as people listening. I feel like this was the right time for both of us. You did
It
an
was.
awesome job. You did an awesome job. I know both of them, my husband and your daughter, are smiling today.
Yeah.
For those of you who are looking, we didn't do this for sympathy. We didn't do this for anything other than to start talking about it for our own self healing, for your self healing. Somebody on here is going through what we're going through. Somebody on here will be going through what we're going through.
Yeah.
Just know you're not alone. Just
And you know,
talk about it. I went to therapy after my husband died, and I knew all the answers. My therapist said, I don't know why you're here. I told her everything I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to do it and what I had done to make those things happen. But the one thing that I wasn't doing that helped me so much was I learned how to cry.
exactly.
I cried in the shower. I cried in the car. I
Yep.
cried anywhere where people couldn't see me.
Yes.
But if I felt a tear coming, I was going and hiding
Hmm.
because I was too proud. I was a proud black female, independent, don't need people.
Yep.
But when I accepted the crying, whenever it hit me, however it hit me, and I began to do it when it hit me without any shame, my healing was so much different. I am going to
Oh,
grieve for
thank you,
my
Mary.
husband's loss
Hmm.
indefinitely. There is no time frame on it. Don't let nobody tell you. There's Kim and I are
Thank
going
you.
through a loss.
Thank you.
Kim and our story cross each other's paths,
Yes.
but Kim and I still have different paths. They cross, but they don't stay on the same path. But
And
we're
they
here
don't.
for each other.
Hmm. And
We
Yolanda's
came here
right.
today to tell you we're here for you.
Yep.
One of us, both of us. By doing this, I feel so much lifted off of me.
Hmm.
I don't feel any shame in saying that I have seasonal depression. I don't feel sad or low when I say I need something to help me. If I need a pill for my depression or I need this, I don't feel any kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't
And you
feel sad when
can't.
somebody tell me I can't say the words I know what you go through. I
Yeah.
feel some pain from losing somebody, but I can't feel what Kim feels. But at the same time, we there for each other.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know this. The scars we have that y'all can't see, the scars that we've revealed today that y'all felt through our talking, through our tears, through our not being able to breathe, our moments of silence. They tell a story. They remind us of when life tried to break us, but failed. Our loved one is gone, but they are not forgotten. She's doing work to help her daughter's message get out, and I'm doing work to get my husband's message out.
Yep.
Start talking. I'm going to say black people keep too many secrets. They keep everything secret that need to be out and let out everything that need to be in. We
Amen.
talked about the wrong stuff. Let's start talking
Amen.
about this. We need self-care. Stop
Yep.
being ashamed of crying. If you're a
It's,
male and you say and you lost somebody,
and
cry if that's what you need to do.
thank you. And Yolanda, I'm gonna tell you
Yes.
something. My 11-year-old grandson. Y'all heard me fussing about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote his mother a note probably like a month before she passed, and his thing was boys cry. And he told her, he said, "You told me don't be ashamed to cry." And he said, he told his mom, he said, "I'm crying for you now." This is what we need black men and black women to understand. It ain't no shame in crying. I know that. You know that. It's just that when we start crying, I know for me, I look back, who is going to pick up the pieces when I need to
Mm-hmm.
fall and curl up for at least a good 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour to cry. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna pick up the pieces and hold my house down with my babies, while I cry and get it out. And that's been one of my problems almost a year. Who's gonna have their back while I shut that door and have my time to cry for my child? And that's one of the things, you gotta think about. And it's one of the things that we worry about as women.
Mhm.
We may be strong, but who is strong enough there? Who is strong and there for us when we need that moment of weakness?
Yes.
You know,
Well, well, Kim, I'm there for you, as you already know,
and I'm there
and
for
I know
you.
you're there for me.
Yeah.
Um, but I thank everyone for joining us. I apologize for the devil trying to get in, but as you see, Kim and I was not having it. God had a mission today, and I think we accomplished it. And I hope that we reach somebody out there. And if somebody else got a testify or a story, a scar, hidden scar that you need to reveal, let me know. Let me know. We need to start talking about this stuff. It can't be just me. It can't be just Kim. We ain't the only ones suffering.
Nope.
Just Be You Incorporate invites you to join our hidden scars. I thank you, Kim, for so much.
No, you're
And I
welcome,
got
sis.
so much more than I expected, and I hope you got what you needed. I love you all,
I
and
did.
thank you. Good. I
Love
love you
y'all.
all, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
All right.